Okay, good morning, everyone. As I mentioned, my name is Dean Martin, Manager of Student Life at NIC. Very excited to see you all here today. Welcome to either the start of a brand new adventure for you if you're new to NIC this term, or welcome back and a new term for you, or the winter term starting. So we wanted to put on some sessions this week, similar to what we did in the summer and the fall, for those of you who would have started back then. But we really wanted this to be open to all students because we have heard from students, that a number of you are still maybe struggling a little bit with the transition to online learning, thanks to the COVID pandemic that we're all facing right now. And so we wanted to make sure that you had some tips and tricks and strategies to help you continue to adjust. But also those of you who are brand new to the college, we wanted to make sure that you felt like you had the tools and resources that were needed to be successful this term. So I am going to share my screen, and so just bear with me for one moment while I do that. Okay, so can everyone see that? Can I see a thumbs up from someone? Perfect. So thanks, everyone. So today's session is navigating NIC's digital learning platforms, as I mentioned. And this is the first of 4 sessions that we have on this week. We have 2 tomorrow, one at 10 a.m. the same time, which will be tips for a successful term, where we will talk about strategies to be successful in your learning, but also all of the wonderful supports that are available to help you as an NIC student. Then tomorrow afternoon at 1 or 2, I don't have the schedule right in front of me. Maybe someone, Disha, you can put that in the chat function. We have the session which is on the North Island Students Union and what role they play in supporting you as an NIC student. But also we'll talk about the opportunities that we provide in student life for you to become involved and supported. And then finally, our last session is on Friday, and that's the start of term celebration. It's going to be a fun session. We're going to play some games, have some activities. We're going to have some prize giveaways, and we'll have some trivia as well, which will help you perhaps hopefully learn about some of the things that we're offering to help support you. So if you haven't registered for any of those other sessions, I encourage you to do so. And all you need to do is email studentlife@nic.bc.ca and indicate which of those sessions that you'd like to attend. So I'm just going to advance my slide here. So here's just a quick agenda of what today's session is going to look like. So we are going to, we'll do some introductions for a number of folks that are on this call from the college that will be helping. We'll do those as it's their turn to speak. I'm also just going to review a few housekeeping notes. We'll start out with a little activity. Some of you may have already started it. I shared it before the session actually started, just to share how you're feeling as we enter this term and a couple of other questions. Then we'll do an introduction to the NIC learning platforms. And so our Student Technical Services team will be leading that portion of the session. You'll get a chance to meet them. Then we are going to look at some tips and tricks from a couple of perspectives. One, from one of our faculty members, Tony Trudell, and also from one of her students, Dinah Parley is a peer tutor, and she'll be helping or sorry, not Dinah, that's for a different session. My apologies. We have some of our campus life assistants, which are student staff, who will be helping with that. And then we'll end with a question and answer period. So that'll be your opportunity to ask questions. And at that point, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. In the meantime, if you do have any questions, then certainly put them in the chat. I did want to highlight one website that you should all become familiar with. It's called Learn Anywhere. Resources for North Island College students learning in the digital world. So there's the link there. And this is a really, really useful resource for you as a student. Whether you're starting new this term or whether you've already been at North Island College, it offers a lot of different resources and tips about how to learn in a digital environment. I'm just going to bring the site up very quickly. Bear with me one moment while I do that. So if you click on that link, this is what comes up, the Learn Anywhere site. And so as you can see under digital learning, what is digital learning? What can I expect? Tips, how will I be assessed? Learning to learn online, talks about the different technologies. Some of these we'll be reviewing today. The Student Technical Services team will be reviewing these. Your responsibilities as a digital learner, so your rights and responsibilities, academic honesty, and so on. And then also a section on supporting learners and learning strategies. So this is a really, I can't stress this enough how important this particular webpage is. A lot of work went into developing it for you, and so we certainly encourage you to go ahead and take a look at that. So I'm just going to resume my slideshow here. All right. So I did want to start with a territorial acknowledgement. So North Island College is honored to acknowledge the traditional territories of the combined 35 First Nations of the Nuchalnuth, Kwakwaka'wakw, and Coast Salish traditions, on whose traditional and unceded territories the college's campuses are situated. So very important to recognize that, and I'm very grateful to work on their lands and live. So here's just a few housekeeping notes before we get the session rolling. So as I mentioned before, please ensure your microphone is muted unless you have a question during the question and answer period at the end. That's not because we don't want to hear from you, but it's because we do need to get through the presentation, and if people are unmuted, then it does create a lot of background noise, which can be distracting for you. Please mute yourself. It is also up to you whether you have your video turned on, as I mentioned before. Would love to see you, and I see a number of you have your video on. That's great. As I also mentioned before, feel free to ask any questions in the chat at any point. And they don't necessarily need to be questions about what we're talking about at that time. If you just have any general questions as this term is starting, feel free to put it in the chat. And we have a number of people on the call from the college that are monitoring that chat and will help answer your questions. If we don't know the answer, we'll try and find out for you. As I mentioned, you'll have an opportunity to verbally ask any questions at the end. And we'll also be giving a prize away at the end as well. And there'll be just a couple of trivia questions based on the content of today's session. So hopefully you'll keep attention. And just a reminder that this session is being recorded. So for those of you who were on the call a little early, you would have seen this already, but I'd like to just start out with a little activity. If you can go to www.menti.com, and I've heard from a couple of you that perhaps that link isn't working for you, but I see that I've gotten a number of responses to this, so I think it's working for most people, but maybe a couple of you just are having some internet or connectivity issues. So if you go to www.menti.com, and then enter that code that I provided, 3478572, you will see a screen with a question, one word to describe how you are feeling this term. So if you haven't done so already, I would encourage you to go ahead and do that. You can submit up to 3 responses. And then once you've done that, you can actually move to the next question as well, which is, what is your area of study? And then the last question, what are you interested in learning about today? So I'll just give you a moment or two to do that. And I'm just going to bring up a screen, and then we'll see a fun word cloud that will highlight all of the great responses that we're going to get from you. So some of you may be familiar with this type of platform. It's just something that we like to do to keep things interesting, but also we want to know who you are. Get to know you a little bit more in terms of what your area of study is, what are you anxious about, what are you interested in learning about, and then that'll allow us to maybe concentrate on some things as we go through this presentation. So I am just going to exit this. Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question?
For sure.
So right now on the Menti, as we've put them in, are the questions that you've asked about which courses that we're doing, is that also a Menti question?
It is. You should be able to go to the next question.
Okay, it's not refreshing. It says the presenter needs to show the next slide. So,
oh, okay. Okay, I wasn't sure how that was going to work. So, okay. Well, once I proceed, then everyone will be able to enter the next response. Thanks for letting me know that. Yeah. So here's the first one. So one word to describe how you're feeling entering this term. So nervous, excited, anxious, delighted, anxiety, concerned, renewed. That's great to hear. Confused. These are all very normal responses as we start a new term, and also, in particular, because of the digital world we're currently in, there's that extra layer of uncertainty and just unsure of how things are going to go and all of those things. Positive. And so the bigger responses are the ones that have had more responses. So I see a lot of people are excited, which is awesome. And a lot of people are anxious and nervous, which is completely understandable and expected. So please know that you're not alone, and this will be certainly something that a lot of you will be feeling, and hopefully these sessions will help alleviate some of that anxiety that you're having. Deja vu. So great, thank you. So I'm gonna just go to the next slide. What is your area of study? And so we have it mapped out there. There's you can select from trades, apprenticeship, and technical. Health and Human Services, which would be like nursing or the healthcare assistant, for example. Fine Art, Design and Development. Arts, Science and Technology. Business, Office Admin, Tourism and Hospitality. Indigenous Studies. Continuing Education and Training. Or Upgrading and Access. So let's give you a minute to put in some of those responses. It'll just be good to know the breakdown of the folks joining us today. So we have some people across the board, which is great. All right, so a very good cross-section so far, which is awesome. And so we'll come back to this, so feel free to answer. And then I'm just going to go to the final slide. What are you interested in learning about today? So I've listed a few responses here. Blackboard, accessing NIC or the portal and your email. BlueJeans, which is the platform that we're using for this session. Tips to be successful. Other. And if you selected other, then feel free to put in the chat if there's anything in particular related to navigating NIC's digital learning platforms that you're interested in learning about today. So I'll just give you a moment to put a response in for that. Hopefully it's working for you. I don't see any responses yet, so.
And Dean, I put something in just to test it, and it hasn't come up yet, so maybe there's a little delay there.
There may be a delay. Okay, so we'll just put hold on this for now, and I'll come back to it in a little bit. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce a few folks that have joined us today from our Student Technical Services team, who will be leading this first portion of the session. So we have Tyler, Jeff, and Hans, who make up our Student Technical Services team. Hans and Tyler are both based in Comox Valley. Jeff is based in Campbell River, but they support students on all of our campuses. And so I'd like to go ahead and hand it over to them.
Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Tyler. I am part of the student tech team here at the college with Jeff and Hans out at Comox Valley. I'm going to run you through a lot of the things that we deal with and that we use technically at the college this year. There's going to be some new things, so if you have been a student in the past, there may be some things that you haven't seen. I don't have a lot of time, and I am going to be covering a lot of stuff, so I'll probably be going pretty fast. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't worry about it. You don't need to follow along or take notes. I just want you guys to see this stuff and know that it exists, and I'm going to give you a whole bunch of places where you can come for more information on it and extra help on it if you need that later on throughout the semester too. So. Is everyone able to see my screen here? Cool. Okay, if you guys do have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat as we go. Jeff and Hans will be able to hopefully help out with those, and we might have some time at the end for questions too. But if you guys do have big questions, also, I'll show you guys how to get in touch with us so that you're able to ask whatever kind of questions that you have. We start off right at the beginning. This is the NIC website here. This is the first place you guys are going to go to be able to log in, and you guys can just click this login button here to get signed in. If you guys haven't signed in yet to your email and to your My NIC, definitely make sure you do that. Your email is going to be very important. It is how the college is going to correspond with you from here on out, so make sure you're able to get in there. And if you guys haven't been able to get in there, get in touch with us after, and we'll figure out why, and we'll make sure that you're able to get in there before your classes start. So you can just hit the login button. Could somebody mute that? Whoever is moderating.
Oh, sorry, Tyler, that's me.
No worries. You guys hit the login button to log in, and you sign in with your N number and your password. 99% of the things you're going to be signing into at the college, with the exception of a couple, are going to be your N number and your password to sign in for your username and password. And if you guys do have trouble signing in, you can note that there is a reset your password link right below here. What this is going to do, if you guys are having password issues, this is going to send you out a new password to your personal email address that the college has on file for you. So that'll allow you to get back into your email, get back into your My NIC and your Blackboard and all those kind of things. So it's important to have a personal email address updated with the college so that you're able to receive these password resets if you do have any troubles with it. And you'll also note that if you do lock yourself out, which happens after 3 failed attempts of signing in, you're going to be locked out for 15 minutes. So no matter how many times you enter the correct password in that 15 minutes or how many times you reset your password in that 15 minutes, you're not going to be able to get back in for that 15 minutes. So if you know you've tried more than 3 times and you haven't been able to get back in, just take a little break for 15 minutes and then come back and try that again. Once you guys are signed in, your My NIC is going to look just like this. We call it the portal here also. It is sort of a hub to a bunch of different branches and information, things like that, that you're going to be using at the college. There's lots of good stuff in here as far as announcements go. There is a link to sign into Blackboard Learn up here. Here you'll find your email also, which you can go ahead and click on. You may have to do, for the first time you're getting it set up, you may have to do a credential sync with our Exchange server. It's just asking you to click the little link, enter your N number and your password again twice, and it'll sync you up with the email server. While you are in your email, you guys are going to be able to find a Outlook web calendar up here, which is going to be important for BlueJeans meetings and things like that. It is going to populate into this calendar for you, so you guys will be able to use that to click on links to join sessions. And one thing that most students don't know is what their actual college email address is. So if you're looking for a good place to find that, you guys can find that right inside your email here. You can click on this little down arrow, and it's going to tell you under here what your college email is going to be. You guys will all be at northislandcollege.ca. Staff is all at nic.bc.ca, but this is where you're going to be able to find your address, and that's going to help you out with signing into things like Microsoft Office and Adobe and things like that I'm going to get into in a little bit here. Also on the portal here, there is a self-service menu. You guys are able to click down on the student section and open that up, and you'll find a lot of good stuff in here too, where you guys will be able to check your grades on here. Financial information for payment details and tax documents and things like that you'll find in here. There is a student grade book and student planning, so you guys will be able to plan out the future courses that you're going to be taking at the college. And the user profile here is going to be a big one. This one's going to allow you to keep your phone number and your personal email address and things like that updated with the college. So make sure that you guys are keeping those bits of information updated, and this is a good spot to go ahead and do that in. I'm going to throw some links in the chat here as I go as well. you don't want to sign into your My NIC first, this is just a link that'll get you right into your email. You guys can just go here and sign straight into your email that way. The other link on here is going to be the one that takes you to Blackboard Learn. And I'll throw that link up here as well. You guys can also Google for this page or search for this page if you guys want to. Just make sure you add in the North Island College Blackboard Learn, add the college's name into your Google search, because there are hundreds and hundreds of colleges that use Blackboard Learn, ones that will have more traffic than us that will be the first hits that you find. So make sure you're signing in at the right page. You guys will see the NIC branding that we have up here so that you guys know that you're signing in on the right spot. Go ahead and sign in the same way as everything else. And your Blackboard page is going to look very similar to this. I'm going to have a few extra tabs up here, but it is going to look very similar. I'm not going to go into too much depth in Blackboard this time. I will let you guys know where you can come for a lot more information of it and everything, but I will show you guys a couple of the quick, nice things that is good to know for customization and things like that. So first off is going to be your course list over here on the right where it says My Courses. You guys will be able to customize this list however you'd like, and you can do that by clicking on the little gear in here. From here, you'll be able to group all of your courses by term. So it will put all of your 2021 winter courses together on your list. And you can also pick and choose which ones you want visible on your list. So if you have old Blackboard courses that are open still from years ago that you just keep seeing, you can go in here, you can deselect these check marks for that course, and then remember to hit the little hidden submit button down here on the bottom right, and it will remove those courses from your list so that you don't have to keep seeing those old courses every time you sign into Blackboard. I can slow down. Other stuff in here that is going to be good for customization is going to be notifications. That's always a big one. You guys can click on the notifications dashboard here. You can get into your alerts and edit your notification settings here. And the first thing you're going to want to do is click on the edit general settings as well. When you click on these, this is what is going to give you the difference between individual messages or a daily email digest. And the difference on that is going to be if you have it clicked over to the daily email digest, it is going to send you all of your notifications to your email in one lump sum every day. Click it over to the individual messages and you will start to get those notifications in real time. And then you can go through here to each of your courses and select which notifications you would like to get. By default, you are set up for all notifications on the dashboard, which is going to mean that you guys are needing to sign into Blackboard Learn to be able to see these notifications. And you will get a few mobile notifications as well if you guys are using the app. But none of the email notifications are checked off by default. So you guys can go in here and you can individually select which of these things you would like email notifications for, and then when they get posted in your class in real time, you will get an email sent to your college email address that will have what it is that notification is for. So you guys can get in here and play around with these notifications. Just remember to hit the submit button down here as well to make sure that everything carries over after you've been playing around with it there. You guys will all have this Student Resources tab on the top of your Blackboards. Some announcements will, yeah. So there are a couple, not everything will show up by default. It depends on how it is set up in the actual course. I believe that there is an option when you're building it to also email it out to everybody. So it depends on how you set up your course if you're doing the actual announcement. So some will directly from the course and some won't. It all depends on if you check that box or not. You guys will all have this Student Resources tab up here. So you guys can go ahead and click on this. This is going to be a good tab to get into. This has a link to our website, which is going to be a whole lot of useful information, and I'm going to be able to get into that in a little bit here. You'll find a link to the academic integrity module here. So if your instructors are talking about having you guys do the academic integrity module, this is what they're talking about. This is where to go for it. And then there's a Blackboard training box over here. There is about 1.5 million Blackboard videos on YouTube that you guys can watch. So you can search for those and watch as many of those to your heart's content. And there is also a student training course. This is going to be the big one. I recommend everybody get themselves into this. All you have to do to get yourself into it is click on it on this link here. I'm already enrolled in it, so you guys will have to self-enroll. And if you scroll down here.
Tyler, can you expand your screen just a little bit so that the text is a little bit bigger? Are you able to do that? Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You bet. I am already enrolled in this course, so you guys will have to self-enroll. It's very easy. You just have to, yours will have an enroll button here. You just have to click on that, and then you guys will be able to go ahead and enroll yourselves into this course as well. This is a really great course we have put together just for people that are new to Blackboard, people who have been on here a long time ago and you want a refresher. Nobody is monitoring this course, or you can't break it or anything like that. It is strictly a practice course to get yourself familiarized. So feel free to jump in here. You guys can start at the top and work your way all the way through it, or you can pick and choose what information you want to get out of it. But there's a whole lot of good abouts and how-tos in this class that you can go through. It's good to know about Blackboard is that it is very instructor oriented. So you may have two Blackboard courses that look completely different from each other. One might be very bare bones and a shell, and another one might be very elaborately built. That is going to be based on your instructor. But the nice thing about it is that they are all going to function the same core way. So if you get yourself familiar with any Blackboard course, you will then be able to jump into any other Blackboard course and navigate your way around it very easily. So this is a good one to get started on if you guys are wanting some practice in here, and you can go through here. It is going to show you things like practice uploading assignments, which is just as easy as doing an attachment, or practice quizzes in here that you can also jump into. So you guys can enroll yourselves in there on our website, which I'll show you later. We have step-by-step instructions on how to enroll yourself in this course. And if you guys are having trouble getting yourself enrolled, you can always get in touch with us and we'll be able to walk you through it to make sure that you're able to get in here and play around. Throw this link in the chat too. Excuse me. BlueJeans is going to be a big one. You guys are all here right now in a BlueJeans session, so you have already won half of the battle. There are some refinements you guys will be able to make to give yourselves a more enjoyable time using BlueJeans as a video conferencing platform. And coming to this link here is going to be a good first step. If you guys haven't installed the app yet, I 100% recommend that you do. If you guys have a Mac or a Windows machine, you should be able to install this app. It is going to take probably 15 seconds to download it and install it, and you never have to worry about it again. There's no sign-ins that you have to do. There's no account you have to make. Once you have the app installed on your computer, every BlueJeans link that you click is then going to open up in the app. So if you have a machine that is able to get the app, I recommend doing it. You'll get more people on your screen, better video and audio, a whole bunch of better functionality, and just a better experience in general. There are going to be certain things like Chromebooks and Surface Go's and things like that that they don't have the app for. If you are using one of those, you'll have to if you're using one of those machines, you'll have to go in through the browser, which is another way that you can join a BlueJeans session, is just through, say, the Chrome browser. And there's nothing wrong with that either. It is lacking some of the functionality. lacking some of the functionality that the other app itself is, but you'll still be okay with your video and audio and things like that. So get the app if you're able to. You can also scroll down here on this page, and there are some calendar plugins that you can download depending on which calendar you're using, and that is going to add some good integration with BlueJeans into your calendars as well. Some other tips and tricks about BlueJeans. Etiquette is going to be a very big one. It's difficult. Video conferencing is difficult to begin with, and the more people you have in the class, the more difficult it can get, especially if everybody is all trying to talk over each other. It can become real nightmarish. So you guys are doing a great job of keeping your microphones muted until you have something to say. That's very good etiquette for BlueJeans meetings. Hot mics, nobody likes a hot mic. Nobody wants to hear your dogs barking in the background all day or your neighbor cutting the grass and things like that. It's bad enough that you have to listen to that. Not everybody in your class does. So keep yourself muted and make sure to unmute yourself when you have something to say or when you get called upon to contribute to the conversation. There is the video mute up here as well, which is a very good way of muting your background so people don't all see the mountain of dirty dishes you have in your kitchen behind you or how messy your bedroom is. So if you want to hide that, that's a good way to do it also. Chat here, which everybody is getting familiar with. There is also a direct messages chat. So just keep note of which chat you're in. It could get into some embarrassing situations if you are typing in the wrong chat. So there's no tech support for you on that one. You guys are on your own if you make that mistake. So just make sure you know which chat you're in, whether it's a direct message or it is a chat that everybody's going to be able to see there. And like Dean was alluding to earlier, you guys can change your name here by clicking on the little pencil icon and changing your name that you have, your display name and things like that. And you'll also be able to expand on the name and see a few things like call details and things like that. Another feature of the app is going to be requesting desktop control. So if you are coming in for tech support or something like that, we will recommend that you have the app so that you guys are able to share your screens and give up some desktop control so we can get in there and play around with your computer and see what's going on that way.
Tyler, I'm not seeing anything on the screen right now. I don't know if that's just me or if other people...
Dean, I'm guessing it shows you that you have left the meeting. So I guess that might be the reason that you're not able to see it.
But I'm here.
Just the voice.
All I'm seeing on the screen is you are sharing screen too. Is everyone else seeing that, or is it just me?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's demonstrating BlueJeans.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm demonstrating BlueJeans.
Gotcha. Sorry.
No worries. A fit to video is going to be a big one. This will have answered somebody else's question earlier where they said that they expanded the chat and now it was covering over the images and everything. So if you are popping the settings button, the settings slide menu out here, you're going to want to click this fit to video to make sure that everything else fits in the remaining section of the screen. And a closed captions option down here, which you can check off. I haven't got to play around with this too much. I'm sure there are some hilarious errors in it, but I have also heard that it works very well. So if you guys are having difficulties hearing the audio, feel free to click on the closed captions, and that may be able to help you guys read what's being said, and it may be able to help you out a lot with making the experience a little bit better for you there. Also in the settings, you will see the choose virtual backgrounds. I am using one now, like Jeff alluded to earlier. If you guys are on a sketchy Wi-Fi or you have an older computer or laptop, I would not even bother using these virtual backgrounds. They are fun, but they are also very resource intensive. So they will chew up your bandwidth and they will chew up your processing power. And it's just not worth it if you're having troubles at all with your BlueJeans session. So if you are going to want to hide your background, I would recommend the mute video. It would be unfortunate that people won't be able to see you, but being able to see presentations and being able to hear the class is going to be the main important thing for you. So if you are having any kind of troubles, leave the virtual backgrounds alone and just jump in there and mute your video to try to add up some more bandwidth for your session there. Okay. I'm going to throw this one in the chat as well. This one I'm probably going to go through faster than some people will have liked. I can take some more time on it, but also know that you guys can come and ask individual questions about this at any time or jump into one of our sessions about this. So there's lots of support for this as well. This is going to be the NIC Media Space. This is just new to the college this year. And it's going to be interesting to see what your instructors and what you're going to be able to do with it in your courses. This is basically a YouTube-like platform that we've acquired at the college. So you are able to consume and create as much video media as you guys would like in here. It works really well from what we've seen of it so far. So it is great. You guys can get there from the link that I have posted, and then you can click on the little guest icon up here. Scroll down to the login and press that, and you guys will be able to log in here the same way. Once you're logged in, you guys will see your name up here, and you can go ahead and click on your name and click on the My Media. And this is going to take you to your media storage space. We have been told when you create videos on here or upload them to here, they're all going to end up in your My Media. So it's a quick storage space for all of your kind of video things. They are all going to be private in here until you make them public or publish them. So you don't have to worry. They'll just be for your eyes until you go in there and publish them. But this is where you're going to find all of your videos and things like that is going to be inside of your My Media. We have been told that there are no space requirements, so you can create as many videos as you would like and store them in there. They do recommend keeping videos under 5 gigs just because the upload time on a video that big would be crazy. But a 5 gig video is going to be feature length kind of movies, which I don't think any of you guys are going to be using Kaltura Capture for, so don't worry about that. Yeah, you won't have to worry about that. But one good tip is that it does take time to upload your videos when they are, after you've completed them, uploading them into Kaltura. So if you are a night before it is due kind of person and you don't have the fastest internet, just keep that in mind that you may want to give yourself plenty of time to have your video upload, because depending on how big your video is, it can take a long time to get that video uploaded into Kaltura to begin with there. You guys are also able to click on the Add New with the plus sign over here. And you guys will see this Kaltura Capture, and you guys are able to click on that. And then here, from here, you'll be able to see that you can download it for Windows or download it for Mac on here. What Kaltura Capture is it is a little piece of video recording software that works very well with the media space. I'm just going to open it up here and give you guys a quick demo of it. It's very bare bones and it's very basic, which can be a good thing. You guys can use any kind of recording software that you want. You'll be able to upload videos made outside of Kaltura into Kaltura. So if you don't want to use this one, if you're not comfortable with it, that's totally fine. It's just there for you if you do. Get it to open. it is going to look just like this little piece of recording software. The nice thing about it is that you are able to record your camera, your screen, and audio all at the same time. So it's going to work out really well for presentations and things like that. If you guys want to narrate over a PowerPoint, this is going to work great. You can record your screen to display the PowerPoint, record your camera, and it is going to record your face in a little box down in the corner so that you're able to narrate over your presentation, and also record your audio as well. And to get this going, all you'll have to do is hit the start recording button. It's going to give you a little countdown here to let you know that it's about to start. And then you'll see the little bar down here letting you know that you can pause your recording, mute your microphone, things like that. And when your video is done being recorded, you can go ahead and hit the stop recording. You can title your video anything you would like. And go ahead and hit the save and upload. And it's going to grind away in the background, and it's going to start uploading that into your My Media Space there. I will just use a different video for demonstration because it does take some time to get that uploaded.
Tyler, we have a question of whether a finished video is accessible after you're done your course at NIC.
That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I think that
Access to Kaltura is going to be removed after you're finished your time here, just as it will be removed from Office and other products. So you have up until 3 months after. So we recommend downloading anything that you want to keep from your media space to your computer within 3 to 5 months after you're done school. Same with the Microsoft Office. When we get there, if you decide to use the cloud storage, if you'll want to make sure you download those documents or things that you have in the cloud before you lose access to it. And like I said, you have about 3 to 5 months after your last semester.
Thanks, Jeff. Once you have your video uploaded and you go ahead and click on it, you can hit this little actions drop-down menu here. There is going to be a video editor, a very bare bones video editor that you guys can get in there. It doesn't have a lot of options with it, but it will let you cut out all the dead spots on your video. So if you have little errors, laughing bouts, and things like that on your video that you want to cut out, you're able to go ahead and launch that editor and do that very easily in there. And after you have also created your video, before you're able to share it, you're going to want to publish your video, and you can also find that in the actions drop down here. You can hit your publishing. It isn't a vast difference of between these. If you go ahead and hit the published, anybody that you send the link to is going to be able to watch that video regardless of if they have Kaltura account or not. Whereas if you leave it as private, or if you leave it as private, people will need to sign into Kaltura to see it. And if you publish it as unlisted, you guys will be able to send the link to anybody as well, and they'll be able to sign in and watch that video too. So once you go ahead and publish it, you'll then be able to share. Hit the share button. It is going to give you a link for your video, and it's going to depend on how your instructors are wanting to see this video. Some of them may want you to email them this link so that they can click the link and watch your video if it is sort of a private video between you and them. If they are making it a public video for anyone in your Blackboard course, you guys will see something like this in your Blackboard course. It is going to be as an assignment to post your video up here, and you guys will be able to scroll down, open this write submission here, and click on this mashups button. And what this is going to do is this is going to give you the option to jump in here, and it's going to allow you to submit your video right into your Blackboard course this way. So all you'll have to do is click the media submission. It's going to take you right into your My Media storage space that we were talking about earlier, and you will be able to embed the video. This button won't be grayed out. It will be clickable in a real-time setting. You'll be able to click that, and you'll be able to add your video right into your Blackboard course after you hit the submit. So some instructors will have you doing that, where everyone in your class will have a video posted up there, and you can scroll through and watch all of the videos that way. Don't worry about if this was a lot. I know it's a lot. I will show you where we have more information on this, and also where you guys can come for any kind of questions that you have and things like that too.
Tyler, just one other question that came up regarding Kaltura. Can you add different audio or photos while editing?
Not in the editor of Kaltura itself, so you would be able to do that. There are a million third-party video editors out there that you can get, so depending on how savvy you are, you can also get a third-party video editor. You can edit your video completely outside of Kaltura and then just upload the video to Kaltura and post it that way. The editor that it has within Kaltura is very bare bones, and all you're really going to be able to do on it is do a fade in and fade out and a cut on it to cut out any kind of dead spots there. You're not even able to merge two videos together in the editor in Kaltura, unfortunately. So you would need sort of a third-party video editor if you were going to up your game into making your video something like something that well. The Learn Anywhere site that Dean had spoken of earlier too, I threw that in the chat already, but we'll put it back up here. It's going to be great. You guys can jump into this site. There's lots of good tips and tricks in here, things to avoid when looking for a laptop and things like that. After this session is finished, we will probably post the recording up on this site as we did with our last one last summer. And there's a lot of good articles and things like that on how to be a better digital learner in this time as well. So check this site out. And last but definitely not least, this is the link to our website. If you guys haven't checked out the Student Tech site yet, I recommend checking it out. There's going to be a whole lot of good information on here. Everything that I have covered, we have done a how-to on here that you will be able to find. So you'll be able to scroll through here. You can click on the Blackboard section, and you're going to have information on signing into Blackboard, how to get yourself enrolled in that student training course. If you have forgotten and wanted a refresher, you'll be able to find that up on here. Setting notifications and things like that. You can go through here. The Microsoft Office is going to be a big one. This is a really great deal. I recommend everybody take advantage of this. The full Microsoft Office suite is going to be available to you guys for free for as long as you're students, and like Jeff was saying, for up to 3 months after you're no longer taking classes here. So you're able to download and install this on up to 5 devices. So you can put it on your laptop, you can throw it on your old computer in the basement or your office or anything like that. It's really easy to get set up, so you guys can come here for some step-by-steps on how to do it. And if you do struggle with it at all, give us a call and we'll be able to walk you through that. This is one of those exceptions that I was talking about where your username is going to be your email address. So it's important to know what your college email address is when you're trying to download the Office 365. One of the very few things that we have right now, but your sign-in name for the Office stuff is going to be your college email address. So it's important to keep that in mind. So you guys can come here and check this out. You guys can also get the Office suite for your mobile, for your phones and your tablets and everything. It works a little bit different, whereas you'll have to go to the App Store or the Play Store, download the apps for free, and then you'll be signing into those apps with your college email address. So Getting into them on mobile is a little bit different, but you will still get the same functionality of the full app that you would, because you'll be able to sign into it with your college license there. Tips and tricks on BlueJeans and stuff. We have up here too the Media Space Kaltura. We've got a good write-up in here on how to get the Kaltura capture and everything, so you guys can go through here step by step as well. Office collaboration is going to be a big one that you guys are able to use with the Office 365. What this is going to do is this is going to allow you. Your password will always be the same password, so it's going to be your NIC password or your email password, my NIC password. Anything college related that you're going to be signing into is always going to be the same password. This collaboration is going to work really well for multiple people working on the same document. So if you guys are doing group work and things like that, this is going to work out great for you. We've got step-by-steps on how to set up your OneDrive so that you guys are able to share Word documents, share PowerPoints and things like that, so you guys are able to work on them as groups. And again, if you guys go through this and you're still having troubles with it, I will show you how to get in touch with us to ask us questions about it, and we'll be able to walk you through that. And the Adobe Acrobat is going to be a big one too. There is a free Adobe Reader out there that will allow you to read PDFs, but that's all it will allow you to do. If you guys download and install this one, this is the full PDF creator, so you guys will be able to merge PDFs and all those other things that you can't do with the free one on here. So if your course is using a lot of PDFs, if your instructors are asking you to hand in your assignments as PDFs, this is going to be something that you're going to want to get as well. And this is going to have the same license time frame that the Office 365 will. So as long as you guys are a student here, you'll be able to use this for free, and for up to 3 months after you guys' classes are done, you'll be able to get in here too. The other thing about the Office, like Jeff was saying too, that it is important to note that you will lose your license after the 3 months. So if you guys are using OneDrive and you guys are using the cloud storage features to store your papers on, it's a fantastic idea while you're doing it, because it gives you an extra backup spot. It gives you a place where if your computer blows up, you're not losing all of your assignments and things like that. So I recommend using the OneDrive and using the cloud storage. Just remember that that stuff isn't stored locally on your computer, so you will have to go in there when your school's done and pull all of those things out if you want to keep them, store them locally on your computer so that you don't lose all those files and everything like that. Mobile apps, nobody ever really has enough apps, so if you guys are like apps, we got a lot more apps here for you. The email one is an important one. This one's really good. You guys should get your email set up on your phone or your tablet. Nobody really wants to sign into my NIC and then click on their email and sign into multiple places just to get their email. You guys can all set it up on your phone. You can set it up as a separate account, so your school email is its own account. We use Outlook here at the college, so we have used that for our example, but if you guys use Gmail or you use the stock iOS email app, it's perfectly fine. The information is all here, and it's all going to be the same information, just the pictures will look a little bit different because we're using Outlook here. Outlook, by the way, is also free for any of you guys to download too. So if you just wanted to grab Outlook, hook up your college email to it to have your own app just for your college email, you can manage all your notifications for it that way. That's perfectly fine too. That's actually what I do with my college one, is I just use Outlook for my work email that way as well. If you guys get stuck on this, most places that people get stuck is what kind of account it is that you're trying to set up. And we use Exchange here at the college, so you're going to want to pick the Exchange account. And then people get hung up on the server and domain and things like that if it asks you for that kind of information. So we have all that information here for you, but if you guys do get stuck on this, if you're not able to get it, get in touch with us and give us a call, and we'll be able to help you out to get this set up. Getting your email set up and getting quick access to be able to check your email frequently is going to be pretty important. So we're recommending that you guys all get this set up this way. There's a Blackboard app that you guys can get if you so choose. I give it a sideways thumbs up because it's kind of hit or miss. It is good for consuming information and things like that. If you guys want to check your grades out, it's good for jumping on there and doing that. If you need to reply quickly to a post or to read a post, it's good for that. I wouldn't ever try to do any kind of tests or any kind of assignments inside of this Blackboard app. It's a good way to lose a bunch of your time and information on your assignments and everything. So stay away from it from that. Use it lightly and use it for consuming information and not creating. There is also an NIC app here. This one is actually really good. It is missing email, which is its only flaw, but everything else besides email works well on the NIC app. So you guys can get this and jump into all the other kind of things that the college offers in this app, with the exception of the email. And there is a new Kaltura app as well. This just came out a couple of weeks ago. We have got to play around with it a little bit, and it seems to work really well. Generally, it is just a miniature version of the Media Space and Kaltura that I had shown you earlier. Everything sort of works the same on it, and it will give you the ability to record and upload your videos directly from your phone, your mobile device. So if you have an old laptop with no webcam or you have a desktop with no webcam, feel free to jump on here. They have this app for Android. They have it for Apple as well. Feel free to jump in here, grab this app, and install it, and you guys will be able to create your videos right from your phone and upload those there as well. If you click back on the home page here, you'll notice our hours have changed. We are now available until 6 p.m. Monday to Thursday, until 5 p.m. on Fridays, and we're open Saturdays now too, 9 to 5. So if you guys are busy all week with classes and work and things like that, but you are wanting to get into one of our drop-in sessions to ask some questions, we have one available. We've got them available on Saturdays too, and you can always give us a call on Saturdays too to get any kind of help that you're looking for. If you scroll down to the bottom of this page here, you guys will see our calendar up here. We are doing these drop-in sessions. We're doing 2 of these a day for all this month and probably next month as well. We're doing 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. And all you guys are going to have to do to get these sessions is click on the time that you're wanting to get in. And you guys will see a BlueJeans link right here, so you'll just have to click on it. So at 3 o'clock, you guys will be able to click on this link, and it'll drop you right into a session with myself or Jeff or Hans, and we will be able to answer any kind of questions that you have, give you guys some Blackboard tips and tricks if you're looking for that, or help you out with getting more familiar with Blackboard and stuff like that too. If you don't like this open format, because there may be other people in these drop-in sessions as well, and you have specific questions, you guys can also hit the contact us. I'm going to throw this link in the chat as well. This is going to be your main link and your go-to for any kind of tech support that you guys are looking for at the college. This is going to be your best way of getting it here on this contact page itself. From here, you guys are able to schedule appointments, whatever time frame that you're looking for. So if our drop-in sessions don't work for you because you're in class or at work, you guys can schedule an appointment this way. We are doing them all through BlueJeans now, so campus doesn't matter if myself and Hans are all booked up for the day down here. You guys can book an appointment with Jeff up in Campbell River. He will gladly be able to help you out as well with whatever kind of questions that you're having. You guys can click here for the ask a question and send us off an email. Let us know whatever kind of trouble that you're having and how we can get in touch with you. And also the phone number here, you guys are able to call this number at any time too, and we'll get back to you as soon as we're able to figure out what's going on or what other kind of issues that you guys have there. And that is pretty much my spiel. I think that's all
Okay.
about all I got. And I know that was a lot of information. A lot of it probably went over your heads, which don't worry about. That is not a big deal. Just know that there's a lot of support there. You guys can come to any of these places and find out more information and ask more specific questions. We are kind of all thrown into this together this year, and there's vastly varying differences of technical challenges that people are having. So there's no dumb tech questions. We've seen and helped everything from people that were having specific browser issues that were, it was making their Blackboard do something weird due to their browser version and their OS version combined. Don't start pulling your hair out over these things. Get in touch with us. Let us pull our hair out over it. That's what they pay us for. So any kind of information that you guys run into bug-wise and things like that always helps us out. So don't feel like you can't or shouldn't ask the question. Definitely do it, and don't spend a lot of time yourselves on something that maybe we have already seen and we'll be able to answer for you right away.
Great. Thanks so much, Tyler. Much appreciated. And thanks also to Jeff and Hans for helping answer some of the questions that you've all had. Again, if you have any questions, you can continue to put them in the chat function. There'll also be a few minutes at the end of this session that will allow you to verbally ask any questions you have. And of course, you can always reach out to them, Student Technical Services, in the way that they've indicated, or attend one of their drop-in sessions. So I'd like to now introduce one of our wonderful NIC instructors here at NIC, and that is Tony Trudell, who's going to provide a few tips from an instructor's perspective. So Tony, over to you.
Thanks, Dean. And thank you very much, Tyler, for that very comprehensive, I guess a snapshot of the resources that are out there. I'm sure that was a lot of information for you over the past hour, especially if you're new to all this. I suspect many of you are. I'm Tony Trudell. I teach math upgrading, formerly English upgrading, in the adult basic education program, and I've been at the college for about just under 10 years, and I have lots of experience with Blackboard Learn, but nothing has prepared me for quite what this last year has brought, and there's a lot of learning that's come just to me over the just from the fall term, and it's very much the same coming from a lot of the faculty members. We're all in this together. We're all learning together, and the one thing I want to get across right away is that if you're feeling overwhelmed by what you just saw there, we don't expect you to be experts on that stuff, and there's going to be differences. Every instructor is going to use those platforms differently. Some of them won't use Kaltura at all, for example. So it's kind of what I want to say to you in one sentence here is just that get to know the individual expectations of your instructor and your course, and you'll find if you establish those expectations early, you're most likely going to be successful. So I do have a few points I want to make, and I definitely want the student perspective to come in after me. So I might talk a bit quickly, but feel free to ask questions in the chat. I am sort of seeing it on the side here. And on navigating learning platforms, I'm not really going to talk about it. Like I said, everyone's situation will be different. But on Blackboard, I do want to say a few things. Expect it to be a bit of a maze, and expect it to be used differently. I'll show you a bit of mine, but first, just because we've been in this for the past hour, I want you to try something. I want you to try using the chat. And so I'm going to ask one question. And so, before I get in there, I don't want you to answer yet. I want you to find it on your phone. It might be a little chat bubble in the top corner. On your PC, it's, again, you're going to have to probably look in the top right for that chat bubble. And just open it up and get ready to type in a response. It's going to be a yes/no response. And I don't want you to hit enter yet. I want us to all hit it at the same time. It's the first time I'm trying this 3, 2, 1, go. But I'm excited to give it a try with 43 people on the call. So, so I'm hoping you all have your chat open. And my question is this: don't hit enter yet. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Yes or no? Don't hit. Wait, just wait. Oh, it's coming. I'll just wait 1 second. Hold your finger over that submit button. Look at those yeses coming in. I'm going to cue you and the rest of us, everyone who's holding patiently, in 3, 2, 1, go. Well, there they go. Look at that. Well, that's wonderful. Lots of yeses, though, and I'm not surprised. You know, this is a lot of the teachers were seeing this stuff for the first time back in the spring, and I can tell you, you know, it's well, we've all adapted. There is definitely a lot of things to be overwhelmed about. So hopefully some of the things I say here will help put your mind at ease. So this is my shell a little bit. Thank you for that. And yeah, you know, expect things to not quite work the way you expect it sometimes. In this case, I'm zoomed out really far, and of course you can't see that very well. On your, if I zoom in and I try to make that bigger, just like Tyler was doing earlier, then oh, geez, what the deuce? Everything's disappeared and shifted a little bit on my computer. Where'd everything go? Oh, there's this little arrow here. Okay, that brings up the navigation area. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff here. Oh, it disappeared again. You know, it's very easy for things to sort of disappear on you, and you know, all I want to say is it is something that you're going to have to get used to and sort of get into early. You know, some things on your phone, Tyler was mentioning this here, don't work very well, so I'm glad he spoke to the app. You might get the app on your phone, and it is great for consuming content or for getting that content, but it's not great for quizzes. It's not great for really long documents or for when you have to hit a link and head out to another space, right? This is the same for BlueJeans. I think a good number of you are on Android phones or iPhones or tablets, and those are okay to an extent. But if I'm sharing my screen like I am now, you can't see the video and the screen at the same time. So one tip that I find students find out a little too late sometimes is that on a phone you can zoom, you can pinch and zoom on your phone, and you can sort of look around, and you can also swipe to see the instructor. So if you haven't done that yet, give it a try. Right? And that's why I'm sharing my screen here, so you can just kind of swipe back and forth and see the webcam or see the computer, so that you know, if all you have is a phone, then for sure if you don't have access to a PC, then you know, having another phone, maybe another family member's or a tablet, just to have kind of both views can be pretty handy in any instructional setting. But yeah. On Blackboard, so one of the reasons I'm showing you this here is, again, this is probably going to look very different, but you know, there's an announcements area, there's a calendar area, there's a my grades area, but you know, quite often most of the content is going to be, you know, in these pages here. And the one thing I want you to be able to find early on is the course outline. Every instructor is going to be sending you a course outline either today, if they haven't already done so, or it's posted on Blackboard Learn today. And this will clarify a lot of the questions you may have. So if there's one thing you take away, is you know, find that course outline today, and it's probably up on Blackboard Learn. Pretty easy to see. Be wary of putting things up here, whether it's on the phone or on the computer. Using the calendar here, it's all kept internal, so it's you know, if you want to keep track of assignments, you know, you want to keep track of emails and things, it's sometimes best to just check with your instructor about those kinds of expectations. The calendar here will not sync with you know, your Gmail calendars or your Outlook calendars or those kinds of things, but your instructor may use this quite heavily. I don't, but they may. The other thing I wanted to mention, just on the tech side of things, is, you know, if something's not working, right? If you find that you're going in and you're not seeing what people are saying, maybe your view has they're saying, hey, look on the navigation bar for links to my office hours, right? There's links to my office hours there. But yeah, if you're zoomed up, it's not there. You know, that kind of thing can happen. So let us know, right? If things aren't working for you, they're not showing up as expected, you know, we can probably walk you through and just say, oh, you're zoomed in too far. There's an arrow there you can click on, you know. Just let us know, and we're there to help you, or the people at Student Tech Services are there to help you too. I'm noticing a lot of really great backgrounds there. I see Tyler's disappeared into space. Kat Curtis, I love the background there that you've got. I have this guy that I pull out quite frequently. I'm going to change my my background here. The reason I'm showing you an avatar, oh, I'm not going to change it here. Where's my BlueJeans window? Is because one thing that instructors have noticed is you know, that community, that being able to see how a student is doing. There we go. Change the webcam there. Is something that's really, we're learning is quite essential to kind of early success in the course. Is getting that that feedback. That's what we're missing in this digital landscape. And before we would be in a classroom, we could see if people's if people were kind of spacing out or missing what we were putting down. And so just having some way to again have that connection with your instructor. You don't have to show your video necessarily. You don't have to have an avatar. I mean, maybe you're just active in the chat too, but these things exist, and they're not too tough to get working. The thing with these avatars that I've found useful is, I'm working from home and I've got my kids running around in the background. I'm not going to turn on my webcam typically when there's lots of activity back there. But something like this, allows me to put a few expressions in every once in a while, and that's just kind of fun. So anyway, I'll stop sharing my screen now and go back to just some tips for success. So on the tips front, and I see got about 15 minutes left, so I'm going to speed through a few of these. In short, connect with your instructor early. Connect yourself to the right expectations. We're all going to make assumptions. I can't say don't make an assumption, but check them. Things are different digitally. None of us went through school this way, so. That course outline that I showed you on my site there, or at least where it was, get a hold of that. That is a contract between the instructor and the student, and it should answer a lot of your questions. Get ready to connect yourself with the resources supplied by your instructor. Get ready to connect your work with the instructor in a timely manner. Being digital, it's often quite easy to get your stuff. Delays in responses and delays in those communications, and a lot of that can be handled or addressed by some actions you can take this week to make that easier. So here's what you can do in connecting yourself with your instructor. You can write an email, just a quick one, from your North Island College email address, letting your instructor know that you've looked on Learn and that you've either found the course outline or not, that you have questions or you don't, and if you don't have questions, that you're just ready to take on what's next. If you want to find the email of your instructor, I'm just going to put a link in the chat now. Chat, Argo, there it is. As well as that avatar link if you want. Put that in there as well. Email your instructor quickly, and one bonus of that, of using your email for the first time, is you get to see what your email address is right there in the reply, and you've kind of shown your instructor that communication line is open. My successful students tend to have made that initial effort. Locate and skim through your course outline. I know I'm sounding like a broken record here, but man, is that course outline ever important in setting those expectations early and sort of getting off on the right foot right in the beginning. My unsuccessful students often tend to just wait for the instructor to go through it with them or won't skim it beforehand. So, just give it a good look first. They're often hard to read. You don't have to understand everything, but just look through it. My successful students will get NIC email accounts set up on their phones. So to echo, that last page Tyler was showing with all the different student services, how to get the Outlook app on your phone, how to connect the email address to your phone, so you're not having to remember things like your password, you're not having to constantly log in. You're going to get notifications. You're going to be able to talk with your instructor much more quickly when you're not always having to log in. You're going to get those notifications that, hey, the office hour is canceled or the class time has moved, so much more easily if you're not having to constantly remember those things that you've just received. You've just received student numbers and passwords and things. So let's, go through those steps of getting email on your phone and also go through the steps on getting the right apps on your phone for getting stuff to your teacher, or that's it, or just getting stuff to your teacher. Tyler showed a link on the Student Services site that was for the Adobe DC, I believe, right? For if you had to submit PDFs. One big problem that has caused a lot of delays when it comes to assignment submissions and things for me, and I've heard from my colleagues, is when students are using their phones, especially iPhones, because they take great pictures, is that they're sending pictures, just pictures, massive, super beautiful, but massive pictures that can blow up an email inbox like nobody's business, or just simply not send. They'll be rejected because they're too large. So, a PDF, a portable document format, is typically the best way you can submit an assignment. Check with your instructor, check what those expectations are for submissions. Maybe they want videos, but I've got a couple of recommendations that I'll put in the chat as well. For this, for text, you might use Cam Scanner. It's popular with my students. It's got paid and free versions, and it's a pretty simple way to take pictures with your phone of multiple pages, send them off as a PDF to your instructor. Pretty straightforward, super handy. Try it. Scan something, send it to yourself, just to make sure that it works. You'll be grateful that you did, and you're not sort of scrambling at the last minute figuring that out. Same with video. I put a link to that Kaltura Go app, and again, you can see all those links at the Student Services website that Tyler shared. That's about it. I think I need to yield the rest of my time to the student tips. That's a very important perspective that I want to hear some more about as well. But just to kind of summarize what I said, connect with your instructor early. It doesn't have to be complicated. Just open up that line of communication. Don't wait for them to get to you if they haven't got to you yet. Connect yourself to the right expectations. That's the course outline. Go and find it. And open up that line of communication. Email on your phone. An app to submit assignments, perhaps an app to submit video, and you'll be off on the right beat, off to the right start. Anyway, that's all for now.
Great. Thanks so much, Tony. That was very helpful. And just to reiterate what Tony said, we can't stress the importance enough of contacting your instructor if you have any questions, if you're struggling, if you're unsure of how something is working or the content of the course. And an email is certainly an easy way to do that. I know oftentimes students can be intimidated contacting their instructor, particularly in this digital world where you don't have an opportunity to necessarily meet them face to face. But please, that's what they're all here for. So feel free to do that. So the last, but not least, certainly, is I want to provide our three of our students, our campus life assistants, which are student staff positions that we employ within Student Life. And so I'd like to hand it over to them to provide some tips and tricks from a student perspective, but also after that, we'll do a couple of quick prize draws. So Akriti, Wyatt, and Danielle, over to you.
Thanks, Dean. Hey, everyone. So in the chat, I just posted something me and the CLAs put together yesterday. It's a good little list, but some of the more important stuff I find is personal planning, getting enough sleep, and having a place where you can actually sit down and study. I found for myself routines that are excellent to have. Monday to Friday, I wake up at 6 a.m. I study for about 6 to 8 hours, 10 classes, and it works out super well. Weekends are for play or essays that I do on the Monday. I find that the day planner that the school provides by the student union is an invaluable asset. I'd highly suggest everyone pick one up if possible. They've made my past years here very enjoyable. And a big thing that we had issues with earlier on was we didn't plan our courses ahead of time. So it's always good to register for your classes and make sure that there's actually a spot available for you when you go to sign up for them. Would you care to add anything, Akriti?
Sure. Hi everyone. We all welcome you to NIC. I will quickly touch base on few tips and tricks we all came together with. One of our big suggestions I would like to make here is, of course, Void already mentioned it, but I did it and I suffered, like not suffered, but one of my subjects were in waitlist and now I cannot take that subject because they are not, it's not available in any other semester. So please plan your courses way ahead so that the seat is available, and reach out to all the library coordinators for any kind of assistance you need with your assignment. I got a couple of questions with few students, from few students saying that they have few difficulties logging in and not able to understand what they need to do in their assignments. So please reach out to the library coordinators or to your faculties. Just email them. They are there to solve all the issues. Going on to the next one. Always keep an eye, like join the NIC, NISU Facebook and Instagram pages that will help you to connect with students for all sort of concerns. Like in case you need books, if students are planning to come to Canada from India, you might get some help in accommodation as well. Use the peer tutoring as much as you can. There are like few students who are providing accountings, as far as I know, because one of my friends is doing that. So please make it most use of all these facilities NIC is offering, and check Career Center for job opportunities, update your resumes. Not only campus job opportunities are there, but there are also off-campus job opportunities you can find. So always keep eye on these kind of portals. They are really helpful. Finding a good place to focus and study. Please plan your schedule beforehand so that you won't miss any of your assignments, due dates, exams, or anything like that. These are just few tips and tricks from our side. Being students, hope these things will of course help you guys. Link is already in the chat. You can save it if you want, and please reach out to us in case you need any other help. We'll drop our email addresses in the chat. We would love to help you if needed. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for that, Akriti, and Wyatt, and I think Danielle is also on the call who contributed to this as well. So again, if you're having trouble accessing that link that they provided, the PDF with the tips and tricks from a student perspective, just send us a quick email and we'll certainly send it out to you. So I did want to provide an opportunity to award a couple of prizes here. And so we have a couple of trivia questions, which hopefully won't be too difficult, based on some of the content that we provided you today. And I'm going to actually take Tony's approach, which I liked, and that is I'm going to ask the question. You can type it in the chat, but do not hit enter until I say so, because if you do, then there goes your chance at winning a prize. And so just, I'll ask the question, you can type it in, be ready to hit enter, and as soon as I say so, hit enter. And the seventh response that comes through, I just picked 7 because it's my favorite number, will win the first prize, which is a $50 NIC gift certificate. So that can be used towards tuition or the bookstore, for example. And so we're going to do that in just 1 second. So let me just get the question here. So the first question I want to ask, again, do not hit enter until I say so. What is the name of the NIC webpage that contains lots of resources, tips, and helpful information for learning in a digital world? It was referenced a couple of times. I referenced it at the very beginning. Tyler also mentioned it. So I'm just going to give you a moment. And in the meantime, I also wanted to do a quick introduction. Disha is on the line. Disha also works with me in Student Life. She's the Student Life and Outreach Liaison, and she's a wonderful resource for you. So if ever you have any questions or concerns, it's Disha that monitors the Student Life email for the most part, although I certainly help out. So Disha, if you want to give a wave there so people can can see you, and certainly if you have anything to say, feel free. Okay, so I'm going to do the countdown, and once I finish the countdown, then you can go ahead and hit enter, and the seventh response will be the winner. If it's correct, that is. If it's not correct, then we'll go, well, I don't know how we'll do that, but we'll figure that out. So 3, 2, 1, go. And Disha, you might need to help me here if you can kind of count through and see who the seventh person is, because everyone's come through here. If the seventh one is incorrect, we'll just go to the next one below. There's a lot that's come through.
It's Ethan, because the 7th and 8th is not right.
Okay.
So Ethan is the next one. That's number 9.
Okay, so Ethan Posner, congratulations. So Ethan, if you can direct message Disha with your student number, your NIC student number, and your email address so that we can connect with you. That would be great. And I'm going to ask one other question using the same format. So it's going to be 3, 2, 1, go. And once I say go, then you go ahead and hit enter. So the second question that I'm going to ask, again, this is for a $50 NIC gift card, is, just bear with me one second. Who would you contact if having trouble logging into your email or with Blackboard Learn? So which department would you contact at NIC if you were having trouble with logging into your email, Blackboard Learn, or anything else technical related? And that was covered pretty extensively throughout the session. So I'll give you a moment or two to type it in. Some of you might be on a phone, so I don't want to disadvantage you by sometimes it can take a little longer to type on your phone. So this time we'll pick, Disha, what number do you want?
Let's pick 10.
10. All right. So 3, 2, 1, go. And they're coming in fast and furious.
So number 10 is Glenn with NIC Student Technical Services.
Yes, and that is correct. So congratulations, Glenn. So Glenn, if you can just direct message Disha with your student number and your NIC email address so that we can make sure that you get that prize. So with that, that concludes the end of the session. Exactly on time, which I'm very happy about. Again, I know that we covered a lot of information today. So you have a few options. This recording is going to be put on their virtual orientation webpage, so you'll be able to access it probably in the next day or so. So you can certainly rewatch it or advance it to whatever section you were curious about. You can go to any of the drop-in sessions that Student Technical Services had indicated. You can contact them directly by email, and they provided that information, or phone. Or you can also email Student Life at studentlife@nic.bc.ca. Please know we are all here to help you. Also, if you haven't already, I encourage you to register for the other sessions we have this week that I mentioned earlier, and join our Facebook group, NIC Student Life Facebook group. We wish you a very successful start to the term, and thanks again for joining us. Take care, everyone, and thanks to all the presenters as well.
Yeah.
Yes, Disha.
Just a reminder, Glenn, can you send me your student number, please, to direct message before you log out?
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Disha.